Good afternoon. I am Cai Graham. Cheers. I am author of the Teen Toolbox. Thank you to many of you because it is an Amazon bestseller. I have just done a live broadcast on my business page and I forgot to say something. So I thought, do you know what? I'll come and chat to you guys and let you know what I'm up to. I am a family and parenting mentor coach, and every day this month I've got a March challenge. So every day this month I am doing, I'm releasing a parenting tip. It's just my way of giving back. Ladies, thank you for joining us. Paul, Janie Lee Grace, thank you for joining us. Who else? Oh, Lisa. Oh, it'll be deja vu for you, love. Today is day 4. Funny that, because it's March the 4th. And it's all about supporting your child. Debbie, thank you for joining us. All about supporting your child. And I know, oh, bloody hell, of course I do. Of course I look after them. I know that. I appreciate that. But I think the thing is, from our kids' point of view, it's only when they know that you have their back rather than being on their back. In fairness, that's when the fun starts. That's when the magic happens, because the kids suddenly go, oh, blimmin' heck, this is so cool, it's not a battle anymore. And it's really quite rewarding. And I think the thing is that, and I think teenagers get a really bad press, but, you know, most of the time, so all they do is sort of, you know, slam doors and sort of, you know, roll their eyes and whatever. And it's that it feels like this the whole time. And I think when we suddenly, or when the kids suddenly understand, oh, do you know what? Yeah, mum and dad are here to support me. Yeah, it's actually going slightly better, and it removes a lot of the friction. The question is, well, how do you get to that stage? How do you get to the stage when your kids suddenly realise that actually this isn't a battle, and that actually it is all for one and one for all? And that's how it should be in families. I think, in fairness, a lot of it starts happening when they get a little bit older. Brenda and Tony, thank you for joining me. And I think they sort of start, rather than just thinking, oh, it's not fair, everyone's against me. All mum and dad do is rules, and, you know, I think they get that for a while. And that's a rite of passage of being a teenager, and that's fair dues. But suddenly it's when they start sort of thinking slightly more cognitively, shall we say, with less emotion, and they realise, oh, okay, Mum's actually not really nagging, she's talking a bit of truth. You'll never hear that from them, but they'll start to realise. On my profile every day, and I have been doing it for the last 7 years, I put a quote up as well. And today it's, when we're growing up, there are all sorts of people telling us what to do, when really what we need is the space to work out who to be. And I think that's a big thing. And it was made really, really clear to me the other day. Our whole family, we're scattered across, well, actually I was going to say the globe. No, I think most of us are back in the UK now, but we're scattered all over the place. And Alice was running, and my daughter was running an event for her final year in hospitality and management. And it was being run on last Thursday. You know, that day when Hurricane Emma came in and met the beast from the east, and everyone was going, do not go out, don't venture out. And we did. Bless them, my family, our family, tipped up in their droves and to support Alice. And that's what it's all about. Often actions speak louder than words. Often it's just, and it was, for us, it was a no-brainer. We were always going to be there. And you know, my darling 78-year-old mum was on a blimmin' train at sort of 7 in the morning coming down from Euston, and she jolly well made it. And, you know, and so we all sort of congregated, and the point was, it was fantastic because Alice felt really, really supported. And you know what? It makes the rest of us feel good that we actually didn't listen to the weathermen terribly. Probably took our, you know, risked life and limb, but actually between London and Oxford, it was fairly clear. Thankfully, we weren't sitting trying to shovel ourselves out of the verge for 4 hours. But it was all about support. And this, I had a really, this is going somewhere. I had a really interesting conversation with Alice's boyfriend, usually do, and he is 22 and he is a mechanical engineer. So I was trying desperately not to do the what are you doing with your life, young man? We're past that stage. But what Chris was sort of telling me, I sort of, because he's in his final year, he's being sponsored by BP, so he's doing pretty well. And I sort of said, so what are you doing? And he went, oh, well, at the minute, I'm gearing up towards the finals, but I'm writing a paper on 3D printing. And I just sat there and thought, I'm 53 years old, and nothing in my experience of all those years can I offer any advice and guidance on that topic at all. And I just thought, oh, right, okay. And I just sat there and I said, Chris, I don't even know what to say. And he just laughed. And I said, because as an adult, I think, and I love helping and opening doors for kids and helping them, and how can I make your transition easier from A to B or whatever it is. And I just thought, mate, I don't even know where to start. And I said, this is really, it was fascinating. So I said, let's just rewind a bit. Can you tell me a bit more about 3D printing? And I think, in fairness, now this is appalling, but I know a little bit because I watch Grey's Anatomy. That's not good, is it? But there's a couple of episodes, or there's actually probably a series all about 3D printing and how they were doing something with a heart valve. So I sort of, in my layman's terms, I thought, shit, that's really quite high-powered. And the point is that he's breaking new ground. He's writing a paper on it and he's 22. Shit. So as an adult, imagine sort of trying to say to your kids, I think you ought to go into a career in 3D printing. Because we're not just going to say that, are we? And give it another 3 or 4 years, there'll be other careers that are being invented that we don't even know anything about. And so I think the thing is, what I realised as an adult listening, chatting to Chris, was we often just need, well, we don't have to guide them. We don't have to push them in any direction. We don't have to, what you need to do is get all these A-levels and GCSEs and degrees and PhDs. No, we don't have to do any of that. What we have to do is, listen, mate, you're way above what I even know anything about this career, but I've got your back. I'm going to support you. How can I make your life easier? Not what you need to do is X, Y, and Z. Because I tell you what, if we as adults try and restrict our kids with our level of thought, blimmin' heck, it just doesn't bear thinking about. So I had to take my foot off the pedal and I had to go, listen, tell me what that involves. And he was showing me the computer programs that he's writing. This guy is sort of inventing stuff. He's doing, and I know this sounds really highbrow, he's doing what Thomas Edison was doing with the light bulb. Chris, he says, oh no, well, I sit there with my computer. Thank God for technology. And he's sitting there and he said, and I write all these programs and it keeps on going fail. And I went, that must be so demoralising. He went, well, no, not really. It just works out how it's not working. And then that's one step closer to a yes. Just like Thomas Edison. I didn't put him in that bracket. That really would have boosted him too much. No, I bet I had, hadn't I? So the thing is we need to support our kids. We need to just allow them to dream, because their dreams are a hell of a lot more colourful, a lot more imaginative, and a hell of a lot more challenging than ours are. And so all we can do is go, yeah, go you, because it sounds fascinating and I'm here to support you. And rather than what you need to do is get a sensible job and go and do 9 to 5 every day in the city or whatever, delete where applicable. And so, yeah, it was just brought home to me that sometimes as adults we have to just put our hands up and go, oh my God, I've no idea how I can push you in any direction at all. I'm just going to walk with you and help you and give you moral support wherever I can. And I think that was a big learning for me. And, it was, it's also really quite, I found it really quite exciting because I just thought, do you know what? These kids have the opportunities that I can't even dream of. And, you know, it's all very well. They don't have jobs for life any longer. Lucky if they do, if that's what their choice is, that's great. But, you know, I didn't even have a job for life, for God's sake. In my 20s, I was in IT, in the corporate, thankfully it was the 80s, so I was able to wear my power suit and pretend I was terribly, terribly knowledgeable and terribly important. And there, I thought someone would tap me on the shoulder and go, beat it, you're rubbish. And then I was a stay-at-home mum, then I was a portrait and wedding photographer, and now I'm doing this. So, I mean, that was a master of reinvention, and it certainly wasn't a route that my parents had planned for me. So, you know, how can we plan our own children's routes when we don't even know what's around the corner? I think the only thing is that we can support them, and as soon as they know that we are there to support rather than criticise. Thank you for the hearts and thumbs, I appreciate that. It means that I'm not talking a total load of tosh. But as long as they know that we are there with them rather than telling them what they should be doing, it's so much easier. It's so much for everyone in the family. And, you know, it doesn't matter if we're trying to push them into the orchestra or move them away from art and into physics or whatever it is. Actually, it's what floats their boat that's the important thing. Because when I saw Chris's eyes light up when he was talking about 3D printing, something that for me went, phew, I got his enthusiasm. I got why he just felt, I'm breaking new ground here and it's bloody exciting. I just thought, well, you know, how wonderful is that? How exciting is that?